Quick question. What's the real reason Rolex makes you wait for years for a watch? Spoiler, it's not rarity and it's not quality. It's something way more manipulative. You've been on the list for months, maybe even years, and that dream Submariner? Still incoming, while flippers are selling them for double, while you're left refreshing your inbox. But here's the dirty little secret of modern watch collecting. You don't actually need a Rolex to own a better watch. Because there are 5 timepieces you can buy today, no waitlist, no begging an AD, that match or even surpass Rolex in craftsmanship, history, and soul. Let me show you. Let's cut through illusion. Rolex waitlists are not about production limitations. They're about control. The watch isn't chasing you, you're chasing it. Every month that passes, you want it more. It's luxury's most brilliant psychological trap, and the longer you wait, the less objectively you can judge the watch itself. Today's journey is about freedom from waitlist games and towards watches that truly suit your wrist and soul. I've done the homework, put in the wrist time, and I'm breaking down 5 iconic Rolex models alongside alternatives that deliver exceptional quality, distinctive character, and in many cases, superior watchmaking.
We just launched our brand new site at thewatchbros.com, and right now, your first month is completely free. Sign up now on our highest tier, and you'll be automatically entered into our biggest giveaway yet. Over $500 in prizes, which includes a free watch and store credit. Don't wait. Join today at thewatchbros.com. The link is down in the description below.
This isn't just about saving money, it's about reclaiming the pure joy of collecting. Let me run a quick poll. What's worse, waiting years for a Rolex or paying double to a flipper? How about missing out on better watches? Today, let's start with the cornerstone of Rolex's desire, the Submariner. The waitlists for this diving icon are deeper than the depths it's rated to explore. The Submariner retails for around $10,100, but that's a theoretical number for most collectors. The secondary market? You're looking at $13,000 to $15,000. That's a premium just to skip the line. The Submariner is excellent. That 41mm oyster steel case with a 300 meters of water resistance has proven itself over decades. The ceramic bezel has the standard, and the caliber 3235 movement with its 70-hour power reserve is a workhorse. But what if I told you there's a watch with finishing so perfect, each surface is polished to a mirror, using techniques Rolex doesn't even attempt? A watch that not only matches the Submariner's functionality, but actually surpasses its craftsmanship. Meet what might be horological liberation in physical form, the Grand Seiko Hi-Beat SBGH 289 at around $8,500. And here's the crazy part. You can walk in today, try it on, and if you love it, it's yours. No performance of worthiness required. No pretending you're interested in a Datejust while hoping to be offered a sports model. That Zaratsu polishing creates transitions between surfaces that make the Submariner look almost industrial by comparison. The 9S85 Hi-Beat caliber doesn't just match Rolex's movement, it exceeds it with a 36,000 VPH rate that offers a smoother sweep and potentially greater precision. Don't get me started on the dial. The blue dial has depth the Sub can only dream about. It doesn't just tell time, it creates an experience every time light hits your wrist. Where Rolex wins is in brand recognition. But ask yourself, is the validation of strangers worth thousands more with months of waiting? Or would you rather experience the quiet confidence of wearing something chosen for its excellence rather than its crown? Next, the quintessential everyday luxury watch, the Rolex Datejust. Starting around $7,500 for the 36mm and $8,700 for the 41mm in steel, it's the watch that announces, "I've arrived," if you can get one. The Datejust is a perfect embodiment of restrained luxury. That fluted bezel catches light like few other watch elements. The Jubilee bracelet? Still one of the most comfortable in watchmaking, and that Cyclops date magnifier has become Rolex's signature. But before you resign yourself to another checking with the back conversation with an AD, consider the Omega Aqua Terra. Starting around $6,000 It delivers freedom from the Rolex acquisition game. Not only is the Aqua Terra available today, but Omega Boutiques actually treat you like a valued customer rather than a supplicant. Revolutionary concept, right? The Aqua Terra doesn't just match Datejust, it surpasses it technically. The Master Chronometer caliber 8900 withstands magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss, at least 15 times better than the Rolex. In our world of laptops, tablets, and smartphones, that's not just a spec, it's practical protection. The quick adjusted bracelet system adapts to your wrist throughout the day without tools, something Rolex only offers on professional models. And that teak pattern dial creates visual interest that pulls you in rather than simply telling the world who made your watch. Which dial pattern do you prefer? The Datejust simple finish or the Aqua Terra teak pattern? The psychological freedom of choosing excellence over exclusivity? That's the real luxury the Aqua Terra offers. And stay with me till the end because I'm going to explain the single biggest psychological trick Rolex plays on collectors. And once you see it, you'll never look at these Waitlists the same way again. And if you think the hype around the Daytona is insane, wait till I show you the one chronograph that actually outshines it without the $35,000 price tag. Coming up next is the alternative that shares Rolex's actual DNA, and why it might be the smartest choice for those who understand what really matters in watchmaking. The traveler's companion of choice, the Rolex GMT-Master 2, currently retailing for $10,750 in steel with the coveted Pepsi or Batman bezel, but commanding $15,000 plus in the real world where most collectors live. The GMT-Master 2 is functionally perfection. That bicolor ceramic bezel isn't just visually striking, it's genuinely a useful tool. The 3285 movement with its independently adjustable hour hand makes time zone changes effortless. Now, enter what might be the most logical escape from Rolex Waitlist purgatory. Tudor's Black Bay GMT at only $4,200. What's the best part? You can actually buy one today without a purchase history. Tudor's connection to Rolex gives you a similar DNA without the artificial scarcity. Walk into a Tudor dealer today and experience the novel concept of buying a watch when you actually want it. The Black Bay GMT isn't trying to be a lesser Rolex, it's offering its own character. The matte aluminum bezel delivers a vintage warmth that the ceramic Rolex just can't replicate. Those snowflake hands aren't just a design choice, they offer a superior legibility in real-world conditions. Which aesthetic do you prefer? The ceramic modern GMT-Master 2 or the aluminum vintage Black Bay GMT? The psychological relief here is multifaceted. You're getting a Rolex adjacent quality at less than half the price, without the waitlist games, while still wearing something with genuine heritage. And that's not just an alternative, that's liberation from a system designed to make you feel perpetually insufficient. Now, I'm going to show you something that will fundamentally challenge everything you believe about luxury watch pricing. This next comparison isn't just about an alternative, it's about questioning the entire premises of what we pay for in this hobby. The overlooked adventurer, Rolex's Explorer 2, at $9,500 retail, it suffered from middle child syndrome in the Rolex professional lineup, yet somehow still remains largely unobtainable at retail. The Explorer 2 offers that distinctive fixed 24-hour bezel, orange GMT hands, and the excellent 3285 movement. At 42mm, it's built for visibility in extreme conditions, with that polar white dial variant becoming increasingly sought after. Now, what might be the most dramatic liberation from the Rolex acquisition hamster wheel, the Christopher Ward C63 Sealander GMT at just $1,095. Wait, that's not a typo, it's literally 1/9 the price. Let that sink in for a second. Only can you order this watch today, but you'll have $8,400 left over compared to the Explorer 2. Money for your next several watch purchases, or radical thought, other life experiences. The C63's 39mm case creates a more versatile wearing experience than the larger Explorer 2. The light catcher case alternates polished and brushed surfaces that creates transitions worthy of watches 10 times its price. The applied indices and sophisticated dial finish delivers a premium experience that makes you question everything that you thought you knew about watch pricing. The fixed 24-hour bezel serves exactly the same navigational purposes as the Explorer 2s. Let me ask you, which would you rather have? One Rolex Explorer 2 at $9,500 or one C63 Sealander GMT at less than $1,100 and 8 other great watches? The psychological freedom here is profound. It forces you to confront how much of Rolex's value is in the watching, not the craftsmanship, but the watching of others' reactions to the crown on your wrist. Once you break that spell, you start seeing watches differently, evaluating them on merit rather than marketing. And now, the ultimate symbol of Rolex's waitlist culture, the Daytona. At $14,550 retail, but $35,000 plus in the real world, it represents either the pinnacle of watchmaking or the pinnacle of market manipulation, depending all on your perspective. The Daytona ceramic bezel with tachometer scale is undeniably beautiful. Those contrasting subdials create that perfect panda look. And the 4130 movement is genuinely exceptional with its vertical clutch and column wheel design. However, what if I told you there's a watch with a movement that is so historically significant that Rolex used it in their own Daytona for years? Here's where the spell can be broken. The Zenith Chronomaster Sport at around $10,000, and it's available without procrastinating yourself before an AD. No 5-year relationship building required. Just walk in and buy the damn thing. Beyond simple availability, there is a liberation of owning a chronograph with genuine historical significance. Zenith's El Primero was the movement Rolex used in the Daytona for years before developing their in-house caliber. You're not just buying an alternative, you're owning a piece of Rolex history without Rolex gatekeeping. And to add a little additional color and clarity, the Chronomaster Sport isn't hiding in the Daytona's shadows. It's stepping into the spotlight. The ceramic bezel measures a lapse time to 1/10 of a second, more precise than the Daytona. And on that dial, the tricolor subdials offer a distinctive character the Daytona's monochromatic approach just can't match. The El Primero 3600 movement, visible through the caseback, isn't just a Hi-Beat masterpiece. It's a conversation with horology's history that the solid back Daytona simply can't have. So what's your take? Which would you rather see? A solid caseback Daytona or movement through a display back with the Zenith? The psychological liberation here isn't just from the waitlist, it's from the entire concept that the watch's value comes primarily from its unattainability. When you choose Zenith, you're choosing substance over status. Stay with me for the next minute because I'm about to explain the psychological trick that's been played on all of us as watch collectors, and once you see it, you'll never look at Waitlists the same way again. Let's talk about what's really happening in luxury watch collecting today. The waitlist culture isn't just annoying, it's a sophisticated psychological manipulation. We all know this. When you can't have something, you want it more. When you've waited 2 years for a call, you're not going to say no, even if your taste has changed. And when you finally acquired that precious Rolex, you're going to convince yourself it was worth every moment of waiting and every dollar spent. That's not passion, that's cognitive dissonance. The alternatives we discussed today aren't just about saving money or finding something available. They're about reclaiming the joy of collecting. The ability to try on a watch and fall in love with how it feels on your wrist and walk out wearing it, that experience has become the true luxury in today's market. Think about that. Actually enjoying the purchase process has become a luxury. There's a profound psychological relief in choosing watches based on their merit rather than their marketing, in appreciating the craftsmanship over their Zaratsu polished case or a Hi-Beat movement because of what it is and not whose name is on the dial. And here's the secret the watch industry just doesn't want you to discover. Once you break free from the hype cycle, you start seeing timepieces differently. You develop a more sophisticated eye, a more discerning taste. You become a true collector rather than a conquestor. The question isn't whether these alternatives are as good as the Rolex counterparts, In many ways, they're better. The real question is, are you ready to wear watches for yourself rather than for others? We've explored 5 exceptional alternatives to some of the most sought after Rolex's models, each offering liberation from waitlist while delivering genuine horological excellence. This isn't about dismissing Rolex quality, it's about challenging a system that's transformed timepieces into trophies. It's about remembering why we fell in love with mechanical watches in the first place. The craftsmanship, the engineering, the artistry, not the social validation. The next time an AD tells you they'll keep you in mind for that Submariner, ask yourself, am I chasing this watch because I truly love it, or because I've conditioned myself to want what I can't have? Your journey as a watch collector becomes infinitely more rewarding when you break free from manufacturer desire and discover timepieces chosen for merit. When you choose watches that speak to you rather than speaking for you. If you've ever felt that strange mix of desire and frustration while pursuing a Rolex, drop a comment with one word that describes how Waitlists culture has made you feel. The pattern in those responses might be the most revealing thing about this video. And if this perspective gave you any new way to think about watch collecting, hit that subscribe button. Our next video will reveal the insider tactics ADs use to determine who actually gets allocated hot models and why the system might be even more manipulated than you think. Remember, the best watch isn't the one everyone else wants. It's the one that makes you smile every time you check the time, even when no one else is looking. Until next time, we'll see you then.